Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nadiya Shah's channel. And my name is Natalie Levin, and I am what I call my astrology is Natalie Levin Astrology because I don't know what to call it. And I am so honored to be Nadiya Shah's guest again for full moon guidance video for the full moon on January 13th, 2025. It's happening at 5:26 p.m. and 38 seconds on the East Coast of the United States. And it will be in Cancer, which is the moon's favorite sign. I invite you to keep in mind that when you are listening to me talking about the full moon, that I am seeing the astrology through the veil of my experience in this lifetime. So if it doesn't match for you, please let it go. You get to take what you like and leave the rest about what I say. I'm going to pause this for a moment. This full moon feels extra powerful to me. And the reason is because it's lighting up. Throwing out a little candy I found in my pocket. It's lighting up parts of the astrology chart that were incredibly activated when we had what people call the pandemic. I call it some other things. Um, when everything closed down and when we collectively were not able to travel, feeling rather I know I did get sick with whatever it is. I have some ideas about that. And so because this full moon is lighting up that point in the zodiac again, I'm we're approaching the full moon. I'm making this video actually on January 4th, and we're approaching this full moon, and there's a lot of illness happening. I have just been really, really sick, and my family as well, and now I'm on the other side of it, and I am not surprised, given this full moon that we're having in January, that there is a lot of illness and it's pretty intense going around. I would love to invite you with this full moon coming to keep in mind that what would it be like to allow in the possibility that someone or something is um, a top-down kind of situation because we're leaving Pluto in Capricorn as this full moon is happening. Pluto has entered Aquarius. He is squarely there, and we're being invited to step into a much more humanitarian realm as this full moon is happening. And what would it be like to, if you happen to feel physically unwell, to also to invite yourself to call your power back to you? Because for me, it feels like there's some sort of top-down power situation that is wanting to keep people unwell. And that this illness, whatever it is, again, I'm talking about this because this full moon is lighting up these specific points that were active during the illness that was happening in 2020, 2021, 2022. Um, what would it be like for me to say, okay, yes, I'm physically ill, and I call my power, I invite my spirit back into myself. I invite myself to remember that I'm a sovereign being. It is my birthright to experience joy and bliss and health. I command all of my archangels, my ascended masters, my spirit guides to be with me right now. And I give thanks that I am living the most abundant, the most divine, and most benevolent, rich timelines right this moment, rich in every way. in emotional richness, in spiritual richness, in intellectual richness, and physical richness, so that I actually can invite in that frequency and that vibration. It's like, especially as we're start, I don't think this is the new year. I think the new year starts on the equinox, spring equinox. But as we're starting what a lot of people call the new year, can you call yourself and ask your guides and angels to help support you? What would that feel like? What would that be like for you? Um, the full moon is having the conversation between how we are in the public realm and in the public eye. So that's the 10th house, Capricorn. The sun will be in Capricorn and the moon will be in Cancer. So there will be conversations abounding during this full moon around how am I able to care and nurture for myself at home? What does home look like? How do I feel? Am I able to create some sort of a cozy home that feels good to me? And at the same time, with that as a basis, can I then step out into the world and be seen in the public eye? Um, feel like I am comfortable in it, whatever my career is, which does not necessarily have to be your life mission. Sometimes the way we bring in money career-wise is not related to why our soul incarnated on planet Earth. So there's an invitation to check in. How am I doing here? Am I able to career-wise express myself and then also feel like, okay, I'm able to come home and be cozy and comfortable in whatever feels like home for me. Even if you work from home, what is it like when you turn off the day's work and then come into your coziness? An interesting aspect of this full moon is that we will have, I'm excited about this. I'm a Pisces and a Pisces and my Mercury's in Pisces. Um, we will have had this shift of the nodes, which are like collectively what our energy is moving towards. The nodes will have moved from Aries into Pisces by the time this full moon happens. And there will be a very strong amount of Piscean energy happening on this full moon, which makes me smile because I really enjoy Pisces energy for the most part. Maybe there's an invitation for you. So here are some things about Pisces, some themes that might be up for you as this full moon is happening. What would it be like for me to, if I don't already connect with spirit, what would it be like for me to start to allow that in? And I am speaking to you as Natalie, who thought the idea of God was BS about 15 years ago. I really did. I thought it was ridiculous. I did not. I thought people who believed in any sort of spirit were stupid. I was incredibly judgmental. And that is a reflection of how I grew up. And now I am praying every single day. So if you are someone who is like how I was 15 years ago, this would be a really great full moon to give it a whirl, to say, maybe it's simply, thank you, thank you. Like maybe that's your prayer. Thank you. Thank you. Next, spirit comes to me. Yes, thank you. I'm so effing lucky for my God. Yes, yes. There's my angels. Yes, yes. There's my ascended masters. Yes, yes. Here are my ascension team right now. And, you know, with the Pisces energy, Pisces is the artist. So what would it be like to allow in some of your artistry? Um, and you might say, "Oh, I'm not an artist." And I actually beg to differ. I think everyone is artistic. Everyone has a way of expressing their artistry. So what would it be for like for you to say, okay, what would it like just act as if, not just, let me take out the word just. Act as if I am an artist. I'm going to sit down and color with these crayons that were $1 from the dollar store. I am going to, I'm gonna put on some music and dance it out. Oh, you're getting, I wasn't planning that you would see my whole outfit. But it actually matches my hair. Like maybe it's you being like, ooh, like doing some re in the privacy of your own home, like allowing yourself to invite in more Piscean energy, which has no boundaries. It doesn't really have many rules. It doesn't plan. I do not ever plan anything. I'm a Pisces and Pisces Mercury. I do not plan. So I know that's unusual for most of the other signs. So what would it be like for you to allow in? I'm not even going to plan how I'm moving. I'm going to move. I'm actually talking about all this Pisces energy is making me want to put on more glitter. Let me get more glitter while I'm talking to you all. That's important. This feels important. This feels related to the full moon. It does. It does. I do whatever I do when I'm making these videos, I do what is bubbling up for me because it feels like if it's bubbling up, it's coming from spirit and it wants to come through on these videos. So I'm putting on some glitter and this is pretty. Isn't that a pretty color? So this is what you might start to invite in. Like, okay, I'm listening to Natalie and I'm like, what is she talking about? Inviting in more expression, inviting in more during this full moon. Yes, the sun is in Capricorn, so you'll still be able to do your daily life. The sun's in Capricorn, you'll still be able to get up and go do your life and like, fill your refrigerator. Um, or with what I don't really fill my refrigerator. I like to go to like Wawa and get myself a sandwich, if you know what Wawa is. Okay, there we go, you guys. So I'm giving you a sense for me of what this full moon feels like. How about a little like super hot pink? Isn't this pretty? I also have like, if you want to, I will send you one of these palettes for $100 if you want. I have two extra palettes because I bought this palette on Mercury retrograde and I bought four of them by accident because the button wasn't working. So I bought it on Mercury retrograde and it is like pressed glitter and it's so pretty. And I have two more that I mean, even for me, it's too much glitter. So if you would like this, write to me and I will send, and it's $100 and I can send it to you. All right, there we go. That's more like it. Okay. So tons of Pisces energy, really dreamy, really out there in the ethers, like full moon. We also will have what is going to ground us? What is going to, well, if you are feeling like you want to create, you want to write, you want to communicate with this full moon, you are supported. You have Jupiter. We have Jupiter in Gemini. Um, you might, Jupiter, it could bring up because Jupiter is squaring Venus in this full moon, it could bring up that you are feeling, oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot that this is recording. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, I'm going to tell you that this is also an expression of the full moon. I think it's going to maybe be like invite yourself to have grace for yourself that you might forget things or not like remember details because there's a lot of really, really big picture that wants to also come through with this full moon. So like not with Pluto in Aquarius and then all of the Piscean energies, it can be, oh, I'm so there's no definition between what I can see and what I can't. So you might be getting a lot of information from the all that is during this full moon. And that can, like what you have to do here in the 3D might not come through as much or as reliably. So can you be gentle with yourself if you forget things or like, oh, I didn't remember that I was supposed to do that today. Or I would invite you to double and triple check your calendar during this full moon because I feel like things could slip through the ether, through the cracks into like nowhere land. And you're like, I don't know what just happened, but I don't even know what world I'm in. We will be supported with Mercury, the planet of the messenger of the gods in Capricorn, who will say, okay, hold on, wait, Natalie, slow it down, take a breath. Oh, that feels good to do, by the way. That feels good to do. Natalie, slow down, take a breath, stop, look at your calendar. What is the next right thing for you to do? So I want to throw that out there that you might feel like, oh, okay, let me pause. You're also supported in this full moon with having lightning bolts of awakening. Like one of them for me lately has been that there really is, there's really a stepping into, oh, there's no box. With Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto answering to Uranus, which is the planet that does not follow rules. So there's a real invitation right now for all of us collectively to step into there's no box. Uranus explodes. Explodes. There's no box. And we have a lot of support because Uranus and the sun will be in a trine, and Uranus and the moon will be in a sextile. Those are both happy, um, easeful conversations, a lot of abundant. So there's a lot of energy up for, hey, it's loud, sorry. Let's do it differently. Let's do it differently. Click, snap. Um, the way I've been doing things up until now, I'm 53 years old. That's how old I am. They've worked sort of up until now, and now I'm ready to make a change. And I am so supported to connect in to spirit and maybe invite myself not to think that what I'm receiving is not true, is a lie. Because actually, I have so much access to the all that is with this full moon right now that whatever imagery is bubbling up for you, whatever winks you get from the universe, like seeing the number 111 or 333, or you think of a song and the music turns on in your car and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Or you're thinking of someone and that person contacts you, that kind of energy. And as I said that, I want to tell you all that I just looked at my screen and there's 333 on the screen showing up right this moment. I'm not kidding. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I feel very witnessed by you, and I know that you're all with me. Like when that happens, I say thank you. They're saying hello. These planets are alive. They are vibrating with energy. They have a frequency. And so I'm also saying hi to them. Hello, my beautiful planets. Thank you so much for saying hello. Like when I start to live my life as a walking prayer and bow of gratitude, my life responds in kind. That is coming up for me too with the moon in Cancer because the moon is in her favorite sign. She loves Cancer. I have a Cancer moon at 17 degrees of Cancer, so this moon is activating for me very much. It's really the Cancer moon. She's naturally there. She's inviting us to ebb and flow like the waves of the ocean. Easy does it. Slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes there are storms. So how can I slow everything down with this full moon, even though the sun's in Capricorn and wants us to be productive? How can I also slow everything down? It's a both and. What is that? How does that feel to you to allow that in? Mercury in Capricorn will keep us on point, which is helpful. Mars is conjunct the moon, so I would invite you to notice if you get frustrated or feel irritated or irritable. And maybe again, as a helpful tool, I would allow in this. Like really deep breaths, another. And something else that has felt important as a helpful tool, I want to show you actually. I'm going to pause this. This is helpful during this time. Okay, I want to show you this, everybody, because sometimes with all of this energy of like that is not really incarnate in the meat, in the flesh, my head can start to spin. So I want to show you something that feels really helpful for me. Okay, so what I do, I have like a block or a pillow or something, and I lie down and I put one hip against the wall, and then I put my legs up the wall. You see that? And then I take the block, I bend my legs, lift my pelvis, and put the block or a pillow under my sacrum. Oh my God, you guys. And then I straighten my legs up and let all the blood go into my head. And let me tell you, at first it can feel like a lot of pressure, but then it's like, oh, I'm getting freshly oxygenated blood into my brain. And take your time, take your time coming out of that. That is a really helpful tool, right? That's a really helpful tool right now. A really helpful tool. I'm actually going to pause this and do that right now for like 5 minutes. Um, I wanted to give you something practical with all this heady, not in your body energy that we're having. It's really nice. Really nice. Okay, my legs went up the wall. I am I have fresh blood in my brain. And now what I'm going to do, and I'm very pleased to be able to do this, is I'm going to go through the whole zodiac one sign at a time to tell you what might be bubbling up for you. I did put on more glitter. I put on more. What might be bubbling up for you? Um, if you are a rising and a sun sign of each sign that I'm going through. And I also want to say that to take it all with a grain of salt, what I say, because you have so many other things in your chart besides your sun sign and your rising signs. And it can be nice to know what part of your chart is getting lit up on a collective level with this full moon. So I'm going to start in a moment with Aries, and I will continue along the 12 gorgeous signs from there. One moment, please. Aries and Aries rising. Aries and Aries rising. This full moon is landing for you in your fourth house. The fourth house is the house of your home, what feels cozy for you, what feels comfortable, what feels nurturing, and also you're nurturing others. So, excuse me. If I'm an Aries and Aries rising, um, during this full moon, I am having a lot of support for being in my house, having cozy time, and also being invited to explore and examine what is my career. How do I want to do that at this time? I am As an Aries rising, I am having an enormous amount of energy in my connect to the all that is area of my chart. Your 12th house, Aries rising, your 12th house is very lit up right now with incredible connection to spirit, connection to guides, connection to angels. So if you have not been someone who likes to talk to those beings, now would be this full moon is a really wonderful opportunity for you to practice. Oh, it made me yawn. Um, like maybe also Aries rising, because the 12th house is so packed and it's with four placements in Pisces and Pisces rules sleep. maybe it's also going to be a nice time for you to invite in an extra hour of sleep. Like maybe you can go to bed a little earlier. I don't know if you have an ability to sleep later. Maybe there's some Pisces rules sleep. You're having a ton of Pisces energy in this particular full moon for you. So what would it be like? Again, oh, it's making me yawn. So yeah, it feels like rest is important. It feels like because Aries rising, you can go, 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 go. And then I wonder if this full moon is going to feel like, whew, okay, I'm pooped. I invite you to know that your area of your chart that's around your finances is having awakening energy, change energy, lightning bolt energy. It could be with this kind of energy. It could be also if you happen to play the lottery, you could possibly win with this particular in the way this full moon is landing. So if there is a lottery and you want to play it and you win it, will you let me know? I'd love to know. Um, yeah, it feels really supportive for you, Aries rise. Oh, it's snowing. Ah, it's pretty. It feels really helpful, Aries rising, for you to simply like, okay, I'm gonna give myself a bit of a break. Wow, I think you might need a break, especially after Pluto has just left squaring your sign for like 50,000 years. So, yeah, that's what's coming up for me, for you, Aries rising. Gonna pause this. Taurus and Taurus rising. This full moon for you is landing in your third house, the house of communication and the way your mind works. So if you have been feeling like, oh, I want to, I don't know, if you're someone who has wondered about, for example, I wonder what it would be like for me to make a full moon video. Oh my gosh. I'm getting so many yawns while I'm talking about this full moon in your signs. Maybe it's because it's going to be such a big, powerful, watery full moon. Oh, that must be what it is. It's a lot of water. It can feel like a tsunami, I think, like a big wave. So for you, Taurus rising, okay, I'm Earth as a Taurus rising, and I'm allowing in this watery energy of the Cancer full moon and all of these Piscean planets that are very, very loud in this full moon. And I, as a Taurus rising, have been having the energy of awakening, and change and electrical explosions in my sign since like 2019, 2018. So you get major bows that you have made it through, having Uranus in your sign for this long. Hold on. And I want to invite you, Taurus rising, to hmm, if you're like, I wonder what it would be like to make a little video and put it out there on Instagram or make a reel, communicate, actually say hello to everybody. Say, I'm here to talk to you all, and maybe embody. If I'm a Taurus rising and I've wondered about, am I a teacher? Maybe you go on and you make a video about something that you know. It could be that you know how to make jewelry. It could be that you know how to bake a donut. It could be that you know how, like, how does this work? It can really be. What would it be like for you to try that out and give that a whirl and see how it feels? Even if it's very uncomfortable, you can still do it. You're being really supported, communities, groups, and friends wise with this full moon. So you would be able to do this. And I feel like you would have a lot of support from not only angels, guides, goddesses, gods, but also from your community. You have it's possible that while you're communicating, while you're trying out this new behavior, that the energy of finance, the energy of money could start to dribble in or drop in or land in your second house. Your second house has Jupiter in it. So I'm wondering, are you Taurus risings having some nice financial bonuses these days with Jupiter in your second house? I'd love to know, actually. I'm curious about that. I'd love to hear how this lands with you. I'm gonna move on to the next sign. Gemini and Gemini rising. This full moon is happening in your second house, your money area of your chart. Also, your physical body, like you in your physical body area of your chart. It's opposing the area of your chart that is around other people's money, taxes, life insurance, um, the seed and the egg coming together to create new life, um, inheritances. So it's possible that this full moon, it could either bring up some new ideas or thoughts about like if you are not someone who has life insurance, or a will or a trust of some sort, it might be that you are like, oh, I'm wondering if that would be helpful for me to have. Even if it's like when this is helpful information that I'm actually learning about. This is where the Capricorn, the practical energy of this full moon is landing for you, Gemini, Gemini rising. It's, is it, when I die, do I want whatever money I have, even if it's $100, to go to the government? Because that's where it goes. Or do I want to have written out where it might go? Do I get to, like, if I want it to go to all the cats in the world? I love cats. Maybe that's where I want it to go. So do I have something written up? Could I get something written up? That might bubble up for you around this full moon. It could be also your career area of your chart, Gemini, Gemini rising, is definitely having some, well, if you can dream it, like what can you imagine here? Here you're having an invitation to imagine what do I want my career to look like? What do I want that to be? And can I be mutable you are mutable and flexible already, Gemini, Gemini rising, but can I allow in even more mutability and dreaminess and flexibility into how I think of my career? Um, Maybe the mutability allows me to have multiple different ways of bringing in money. Like for me, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm an astrologer, I'm an opera singer. I work with people financially. I am a financial educator. So it's like four different realms in which I'm able to bring the currency of wealth. So that might be up for you right now, Gemini, Gemini rising. Ooh, that made me run out of breath. And Gemini is an air sign. Um, and you're having awakening energy since like 2018, 2019, and how you connect with spirit is also happening for you, Gemini, Gemini rising. It's like, whoa, well, I'm getting lightning bolted in my 12th house. Boom, 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 boom. Let me wake up. Boom. Now I, as a Gemini, Gemini rising, am aware that I can talk to all of the beings. I'm always receiving information from them, from the gods, because the messenger of the gods, Mercury, is my ruling planet. How's that landing for you, Gemini, Gemini risings? I'd love to hear in the comments. Cancer and Cancer rising. This full moon is in your first house. It's in your first house. So you might have things bubbling up for you around I want, I need. What what are your basic needs, Cancer, Cancer rising with this full moon? Where is it coming up that you are not having those needs met? And is it because, and I'm speaking to you as a Cancer rising and a Cancer moon, is it because you are so focused on everyone else's needs that you are having trouble remembering to care for your own? Is that part of the challenge for you? I'm inviting you to take a look at that and see if that resounds for you. And if it does, I invite you to remember that being a Cancer, Cancer rising, part of that practice is also making sure that you receive nurture, not just that you give it to everyone else, that you receive nurture as well. So, how does it feel to hear me say that? I'm wondering. And I also invite you to know that you probably are having some new perhaps some breaks around who your friends have been and some new friends bubbling in the past, like since 2018 through 2019. There could be some ruptures that are not repairable. Um, and it's very possible, Cancer rising, that you are around this full moon time, um, being curious about exploring new courses. Perhaps you are the teacher or you're the one learning. Maybe you are inviting yourself to go on journeys, either inner or outer. Is it, if I'm a Cancer rising, do I want to go out into the world and go on an exciting journey? Am I having new dreams and imaginations about what that might look like? Am I having dreams and imaginations of furthering my education in a way that allows me to step into my authority? Um, that could be up for you as well with this full moon. And I invite you to allow the waves of what bubbles up for you to come and go. They flow in and they flow out, and how you feel. Um, See how it feels mm, when the waves quiet down. See what bubbles up for you. I'd love to hear how this lands for you, Cancer rising. Leo and Leo rising. This full moon for you is landing in your 12th house, which is the house of I'm connecting to the all that is. So, what is it like for you? It also can be called the house of self undoing. So, as this full moon I'm laughing because I have my emotional world there, and that is something that I work with in this lifetime. And I wonder for you, Leo suns and Leo risings, where can you, well, you're having a lot of support with this full moon to connect in with your guides and angels, um, your spirit team, whoever that is for you. And if you don't do that already, this would be a wonderful time for you to give it a whirl and see what it feels like. You're also having your area of your chart that's around your daily routine and what you do on a daily basis, like my daily life and my daily routine, that's getting activated as well. So it can be for you, Leo rising. Is there something about my daily routine that could be more in the rhythm of the natural waves of life? Like I'm bringing in this movement because it's the ocean. And then you do it the other way. Sometimes it can really help actually to do make the movements. I'm finding that when I embody them more, especially with Uranus, which is wake up, wake up, wake up, in the sign of our bodies, which is Taurus. We have Uranus in Taurus right now. It's continuing to be in Taurus. What would it be like to actually allow your body to move with the energies of the zodiac? I'm moving away from the microphone, sorry. um you're having a powerful 20-year transit, Leo risings, in the area of your chart that's around your soul contracts and contractual relationships. That can be marriage, that can be you working with other people. You're being invited to step into your power in that realm in a way that you haven't had an invitation before. I wanted to mention that. And this full moon for you, Leo risings, feels extra super connected to psychic abilities. So when you receive messages and invitations from the universe during this full moon, I would invite you to trust it. Like, oh, I just thought of Jimmy. I'm gonna reach out and say hi. Like, invite yourself to say yes, and not to brush it away. Oh, that's my imagination. No, say yes and see what happens. How does that land for you, Leo rising? I'd love to hear. Virgo and Virgo rising. This full moon for you is landing in your house of communities, groups, and friends. That's lovely. It's an opportunity for you to, and an invitation to, if there's, maybe there's a friend that you had loved for a long time and you have lost contact. Maybe there's an invitation for you to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm wondering how you're feeling, Cancer. I'm wondering what it like, if you're open to sharing, what is it like to be in your skin? So you're honoring this energy of I'm a Cancerian in my crab shell, and I am being invited gently by you to come out of my shell and maybe let you know what it feels like to be me. That feels, as I'm saying that, I'm having a ringing in my ear. So that feels like a yes. That feels like a yes. You're also having a lot of creative spirit connection with this full moon in your area of your chart that's around you in relationship with other people. It can be soul contracts, it can be actual contracts, it can be marriage, it can be, um, if I'm a Virgo, Virgo rising, what is bubbling up for me about around being in relationship in general? And can I, if I had some really strict, stern rules about what that has to look like, could I also be curious, are those rules still serving me? Are they very strict and strong boundaries that maybe are keeping me from enjoying some people that maybe just simply are not passing those stern boundaries? And am I interested in opening up a bit to have more softness around what I want in a friend? I don't know. This would be an opportunity to be like soft and creative around that. There is also that with your house of fun is getting lit up with this full moon, so you're being invited. What feels like fun for you, Virgo rising? It might not, it sometimes it can be challenging, I imagine, to figure out what is fun. And it can feel maybe even with this full moon like a job, like, oh, is this a job for me to have fun? And where can you find some pinpricks of light and delight in this? Um, you're having a lot of energy in your career area of your chart, expanded energy, expansive energy. So I do know a Virgo friend of mine just got a promotion during this time of Jupiter's in your 10th house, Virgo rising. So you're having opportunity and expansion career-wise. And there could be a lighting up for you or a lightning bolt of, oh, I want to study purling, which is a kind of a stitch. I want to study purling. I'm going to take a purling class. It could also be that. How does that land with you? I'd love to hear in the comments. Libra and Libra rising. This full moon in Cancer is happening in your career area of your chart. So you really get another, even with already the themes of career and home being loud for this full moon, it's extra loud for you. So it's, how do I feel as a Libra rising, with my connection to spirit? Oh no, well, I guess I said that for a reason. Let me see where that's landing for you. Okay, that's your daily life. Daily life and daily routine, Libra rising. Can you bring in a little more connection to spirit in your daily life and daily routine? Is that possible? Could it be, what would it look like to divinitize your life? Libra rising. What would it look like to divinitize your life? So here I am, like, even simply having this beautiful sparkly tree. Like, this feels for me very beautiful, like adding beauty to my life, adding, lighting a candle. Can't even do it. Okay. Lighting a candle. I'm divinitizing it. This feels important. This is a beautiful, bringing the element of fire. Since you're an air sign, bringing in some fire. I'll put it right over here with this other one. Divinitizing your life, Libra rising. So there's that bubbling up and out. What feels like home, what feels cozy and comfortable, and like I'm enjoying my house, Libra, Libra rising. I also, career-wise, I'm having a big emphasis on that with this full moon. You're having the area of your chart that's around inheritances and other people's money, taxes is getting an exclamation point right now. So I would invite you to maybe pay attention in that area. Is there somewhere where it would be, even though Libra is tends to be related to finances, could it be something that you do to be more specific or make a change in a will or life insurance? If you don't have life insurance, I actually I am studying that. I am amazing. Like I can help you with that if that is something that calls you. So I would, you can reach out to me and we can mix your astrology or mix the astrology with your this is for Libra, Libra rising, with what you might need in terms of those realms. Life insurance, that's your eighth house. It's getting lit up right now. Um, and I invite you also to keep in mind that you are being invited to have a transformation for the next 20 years around what you consider to be fun. So whatever you consider to be fun right now might be up for a change or a shift as the next years progress. And I wonder how this lands for you, Libra, Libra rising. I'd love to know in the comments. Scorpio, Scorpio rising. This full moon for you is landing in the area of your chart that's around, I want to learn, I want to expand my knowledge, I want to go on journeys, both inner and outer. What does it look like for me to possibly be the teacher or find a teacher? I am interested in truth speaking and truth telling as a Scorpio, Scorpio rising, and this full moon is bringing more attention to that. I'm also having the energy of the sun in Capricorn is in my area of my chart that's around my neighborhood, writing and communication, siblings. Um, so if there's something that's been bubbling around for me that I wanted to write or I wanted to speak, you would be very supported with this full moon in doing so. You do have Jupiter in your eighth house right now, so you might also want to talk about things that are not necessarily fluffy, which I actually imagine if you're a Scorpio and Scorpio rising, you don't really talk about fluffy things. It's more let's go down to the nitty gritty and the deepest depths right off the bat, as opposed to being like, oh, yeah, let's talk about cotton candy and the clouds. No, no, no. It's let's go deep right this moment. You're having an incredible amount of creative energy in the realm of your artistry, creative projects, and children with this full moon. So, I invite you, if you feel an artistic pull, and that can be that your life is your art. If you feel that pull with this full moon, I would invite you to see if you can make it actual without writing it off as, oh, I'm not actually going to pay attention to that. No, I invite you to pay attention to that. There's something delicious to be gleaned there. How does that land with you? I'd love to hear in the comments. Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. I am letting you know that this full moon is landing in your eighth house. So I feel like this might feel like a heavier full moon to you, even though as a Sag rising, you tend to be one of the most optimistic signs of the zodiac, in my opinion. Ebullient, the energy of mutable fire, embers burning on your hand, and you blow them and they sparkle out into the world. It's glitter, it's starlight. And with the full moon in the eighth house is not particularly like light and ebullient. It's like, okay, it's time for us to think about serious things like what inheritances, taxes, other people's money. It can be also emotional inheritances. What have I inherited from my ancestors that is keeping me stuck, keeping me back, holding me back? And where do I want to actually allow myself to expand through the vehicle of something structured? So I know for me, I've been educating myself about finances and learning things that I never knew before because I haven't wanted to learn. And also, these things have been gate kept from me. And as a Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, with your interest in truth and justice, right now with this full moon, your fourth house is getting activated with a lot of if I'm connecting to spirit as a Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising, what is spirit wanting me to know about what I call my home and what feels like I'm connected to my home, and how do I want to bring more spirit into my home? And maybe that for me also looks like doing some concrete things to contain my finances, to add structure around them and systems. Maybe that's what it looks like for me with this full moon energy, inviting that in. And also the Capricorn energy, is in your second house, Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising. So the sun right now is actually lighting up the area of your chart that's around your finances. Okay, that's interesting. That makes sense to me. Thank you, guides and angels, for bringing that through. So I wonder how this lands, Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising. I'd love to know. You may share in the comments. Capricorn and Capricorn rising. This full moon is in your seventh house, which is the house of relationships. It's you having one-on-one relationships with other people, contractual relationships. It can be marriage, it can be you in a work relationship, it can be you working as a client with someone, or you working as the healer with someone. It can be you signing a contract, to work with someone or a group of people, I could even say. Um, you're being invited to keep the focus also on your side of the street in this particular full moon. So if you tend to want to go and fix everyone else and make sure everyone else is okay before you put yourself first, this could be an invitation for you to be like, okay, what about me? What do I need? What do I want? You're having a lot of super powerful energy in your house of creative projects with Uranus there, and Uranus will be trining this sextiling this full moon and wait, no, 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 no. Yes, sextiling this full moon. So it's supportive. It's supportive awakening energy for you. Capricorn, Capricorn rising. Your area of your chart that's around how you communicate and how your mind works is having extra strength in it right now in terms of if there when there are incredible rules or shoulds or have tos or needs about the way you communicate, those are being invited to soften away. And if I am a Capricorn, Capricorn rising, maybe the way I communicate is going to have softer edges. Maybe it's being curious about what it's like to be in my skin and also being curious about what it's like to be in yours. So the way I might phrase this is, hey, hey, Jenny, I'm wondering if you would be open to sharing what it's like to be in your skin. And that's a real soft start. And that could allow Jenny to feel comfortable really sharing what it truly feels like to be in her skin instead of feeling pressure to do it a certain way. That's up for me with this full moon, Capricorn, Capricorn rising. Yeah. And you're having support in taking in a lot of information and processing it through the vehicle of you and delivering it in a new way as part of your daily life and daily routine. Like, oh, here comes all this information and I'm digesting it and moving it through me, and now I'm going to deliver it out in a new way to the realms. That's bubbling up as well as part of my daily life. How does that land for you, Capricorn, Capricorn rising? I'd love to know. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This full moon is landing in your sixth house, which is your house of your daily routine and your daily life. So if I'm an Aquarius and Aquarius rising, I'm being invited to explore how do I do my daily life and daily routine? Am I allowing in enough nurture and softness into my daily life and daily routine for what I need in the world? Um, I'm having a, if I'm an Aquarius, Aquarius rising, I'm having a big energy with the sun in my 12th house. So I'm being invited to perhaps make more systems and structures around how I feel like I can connect to the all that is. Um, yeah, yeah. Like, and do I want to, is there someone that I admire and enjoy the way they talk about connecting to spirit? Do I want to, um, have some wise counsel with that person? Does that feel like it would be someone and a powerful Aquarian that I know said, I would like to have some wise counsel with someone. So who is it that feels like they would be wise counsel for you in this moment? Aquarius, Aquarius rising. Your area of your chart that's around your home and what feels like home for you has been since 2018, 2019. This is making me want to take lemon balm has been having a lot of change and explosion and like volcanoes and earthquakes. Mm. Lemon balm is said to be, it can be calming and easing for you. So, and also your second house, Aquarius, Aquarius rising, is having a lot of invitation to dream outside what you have known already. Perhaps you can allow spirit to connect in with, can the energy of money be a spiritual experience? What does that look like? What does it look like for me to do something like, I give thanks, I command all of my archangels and ascended masters and spirit guides to be with me right now. Shoo. I give thanks to you all that my life is unfurling exactly as it is meant to for the highest, purest iteration of my most abundant, most divine, and most benevolent timeline. What would it look like to allow prayer into the way you relate to finances? I'd love to hear what comes up for you, Aquarius, Aquarius rising, in the comments. Did you hear that sound? Can't even do it again. Pisces, Pisces rising. This full moon for you is landing in your fun house. That's nice. That's nice for me as a Pisces, Pisces rising to know. It's landing in your house of creative projects and children, hobbies, short trips, maybe like a super short trip, like an outing. Yeah, that's nice. I love that. Pisces, Pisces rising. So you might, um, it's like, what feels fun for me? What do I want to do for fun as a Pisces, Pisces rising? Also, um, there is a sun shining on my house of friends and communities and groups here. So I might want to, during this full moon, have um, be in the company of friends. Um, as a Pisces, Pisces rising, you're having a lighting up of the area of your chart that is around communication and how your mind works, and also neighbors. It's an awakening. It can be a change. I know for me, it's interesting for me to make this as a Pisces, Pisces rising, because since Uranus entered Taurus, which is the third house of Pisces, if Pisces is like as we're doing it for general Pisces, that since then is when I started my YouTube channel and started talking and making videos and giving it a whirl, and it's grown and grown and grown. So you never know what might bubble up and out. And also, the way my mind works, so Pisces rising, and I'll give personal examples. The way my mind works, I have become curious about crypto and am learning about it from trusted teachers. And Uranus in Taurus, Taurus is money, Uranus is related to the internet, technology. So that's been in my third house, which is how I think, how my mind works, how I communicate. So that might be bubble. I wonder if that's coming up for you, some of my Pisces risings friends. Um, a lot of energy, a lot of input around house. What does house look like? Not physical home, but like what does home feel like? A lot of energy there. And again, my invitation to you, Pisces rising for this full moon is to see, can you have some fun? What feels like fun to you? Um, I'd love to hear what comes up for you if you'd like to share in the comments. That completes the 12 zodiac signs and how this full moon might be landing for each of those signs. Again, I'd love to hear what that sounds like, what that feels like for you, how it lands. And again, what I'd like to leave you with is the fact that this full moon is happening just as the nodes are changing signs for the first time in 19 years. That's a really big shift. So, energetically, collectively, we will be feeling the energy moving from all of us very collectively focused on I, me, my, and quick to anger, perhaps. Maybe there's the energy of war, and now we're landing in the sign of Pisces, which is, oh, it can be overwhelm. It can be a tsunami. It can either an actual one or in a feeling one. It can be, hmm, like, it can also be, oh, wow. Okay, so when all else fails, what I'm going to do is turn on and listen to a near-death experience. Like that for me can feel really, really helpful with this full moon energy happening with the North Node in Pisces now. So when you feel overwhelmed, when you don't know what to do next, what would it be like to try listening to a near-death experience on YouTube or a podcast? I've been finding that to be an incredibly helpful and supportive way to care for myself. Um, with these full moon with Piscean energy or when I'm feeling very overwhelmed. Um, I'm so grateful to you all for being here. Thank you so much. And I do work with clients one-on-one. I have appointments available at natalielevinastrology.com. You may also follow me on Instagram at Natalie Levin Astrology. On Facebook, I am Natalie Levin, and I have a YouTube channel, Natalie Levin Astrology. I am on TikTok. TikTok. That's how I'm trying to become more active on it. And it's Natalie Levin Astrology as well. And you can hear the sirens coming because it's a wild year we're starting. This is a wild and crazy year. So what can you do at this point to connect with spirit, to keep remembering that you're a spirit having a human experience? That can feel really supportive as this year progresses. And I am so grateful to Nadiya Shah for having me as a guest. Thank you, Nadiya. And I love you. And I look forward to hearing how this video lands with you if you feel open to sharing in the comments. Okay, take good care. I'm thinking of you all. Love you.